championship run to the finals a year ago, and now he's at the podium.
The rest of our conference teams looking forward to another great season with the ACC, and a lot of great coaches and great teams that are poised to have, again, another fantastic season. With us, for us, it's really simple. We've certainly gotten right back to work right away after last season, and with everything with a 1-0 mentality and everything that we do. Honored to be here today with our players. Trust these guys with my life. I think you'll enjoy speaking with them and share with you the things, the questions that you ask, at least for the most part. And then certainly, again, we're here to, with the opportunity to present ourselves and answer anything that we possibly can for you. So very, very grateful for that. With that being said, questions, please.
Coach, thank you. Bright lights up here, so if you would raise your hands nice and high and identify yourselves and the agency you are with, and Coach will take the first question about the fourth row right side.
Katrina Sacken, Sports and Culture Media. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. With the apparent goal of perpetual success lingering in your mind, however, in the same breath, some key components differing from last season, how big of a role does consistency within the presence of this team matter and play a role in this?
Well, ironically, that something we were just talking about, the importance of consistency with everything that we do. And I think, we've had steady progress over the last 4 years, and it's been due to the commitment and the level of just care of these players and their coaches, and the fact that everything has been based on just having a 1-0 attitude towards everything that we do, every meeting, every practice session, every training session. Just making sure that we never deviate from that, never stray from that process. And that has also led to, thankfully for us, some consistency in our coaching staff, where we retain both coordinators, and consistency in that case is good because they have had success, but they're also very adaptable, knowing that with whatever schemes we do run, they have to fit the skill set of our players. And so really excited about that.
Coach, left side, first row, gentleman with the sport coat.
Hey, Coach. Brian Murphy with WRAL in Raleigh. I wondered if you could talk about your philosophy of looking in the portal for quarterbacks to add to the team, and then what you saw at Darian when it was time to look for a quarterback.
Well, we were in the market for a quarterback. We felt that the team was really set in so many areas. And when Darian hit the portal, we felt, this is a guy we would love to pursue. Watching crossover tape with so many opponents that we had faced, we saw his level of talent, level of play. And what really, took us by surprise in a great way was what an incredible young man he is. His levels of leadership, care factor, time invested in his craft, football IQ, just natural human IQ, just an elite person along with the guys beside him. So, and we found ourselves also in a situation like in previous years where it was a time to take a portal quarterback. We feel going forward that now we are set in that room from a high school standpoint, with what we have on the roster and what we have coming in. And I'll also say this, that every single year is different. Even though our foundation is the high school player, we're never going to deny ourselves the opportunity to get better as a program if there is a player that we can pick up in the portal that can help our program elevate.
Coach, right side, hard right all the way against the wall, first row.
Against the wall.
Destiny Vance with the Juice Network. My question for you, Coach, is you guys have FAMU, which is one of the biggest HBCUs in the nation. What is the importance of playing HBCUs, especially with both of you guys having similar colors? How do you all also depict what uniforms you guys are going to wear? And I'm sure most people want to know, is the famous Marching 100 coming?
Well, those are questions for someone else in this room, not myself, but I'll get that information to you as best I can when I can. I just think they're an excellent program with a great coaching staff. It's challenging. We play across the country on a Friday night, and they play on Sunday right down in South Florida as well. So we'll both have short weeks, and we will both be tested on that night. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to compete against such a great program.
Coach, we're going to stay on the right-hand side against the wall, still about the fifth row. Right here. Right there. Yep.
Hi, Coach. Ryan Castle with Sons of Saturday. How are you this morning?
I'm trying to find you.
You're
Right here, Coach.
There you are.
There we go.
Yeah. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well. So in addition to replacing the quarterback, you're also having to replace a lot of production along the offensive and defensive lines. What have you seen in the growth in those rooms this offseason with different guys having to step up and take on bigger roles in this team?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to commend the entire conference on the fact that as a conference, we had more players from the trenches drafted in the first round than any other conference in football. And Miami alone had 3, which is as many or more than just about every conference. And so I think it's important to note that this is college football, and if you have really good players, they're going to be gone to the next level in 3 to 4 years, right? And so the process to replace those players began the day that they were signed with the next class. And those players haven't been waiting their turn. They've been preparing the entire time. These guys will be glad to attest to the way that we practice is pretty intense and pretty challenging. And so therefore, the rep count, we're very rep intensive, I would say. From a competitive standpoint, we work good on good every single day. We work block destruction all the way from week 1 to the end of the entire season. So we feel that these guys are not only prepared to step in, but prepared to excel. And I also think it's important to say this. In 2022, when we first recruited those guys, we didn't say much because we weren't winning many games. And now, and I think it's important to note that you don't say much. And I think now that we are getting better and progressing, it's probably time to say less. Not time to predict prognostications and all that stuff. We just would like to keep our mouths shut and go outside and work and get better and represent our program to the best of our abilities.
Coach, left side, follow the center aisle, young lady right there on the edge.
Gatsby Good with Tiger Vision. Alongside the portal, you also have a lot of returning talent. I was just wondering, what is an area that you really want your guys to improve on, especially following such a successful season?
Well, I think it's a matter, in football, we do truly feel at the University of Miami that you never stay the same. You get better or you get worse. So elevating every aspect of the program starts with every individual. And I'm talking about the importance of challenging your coaches. We're blessed to have an excellent coaching staff, but there's no value in coming back thinking that we're going to be good. It's important that we self-assess and that we find every possible advantage and edge to give to our players so they can go out and be the best players they could possibly be. Mentality is everything for us. It really is. We like to get on edge and we like to stay on edge. And the only way to do that is by conducting certain levels of intensity and urgency as it relates to practice and preparation. And I think if you speak with our players and when you speak with them, I think they'll echo that. That's been what has really worked for us. And we're nowhere near where we want to be yet, but we're certainly gaining ground there. So we're excited to get this process rolling once again in training camp here in a couple of weeks.
Coach, right side, first row.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. 2 pieces. The first one being just those pillars of the program that you wanted to bring in when you first came into Miami as the head coach. Some of those things that you wanted to implement, where they are right now, kind of the evolution of the pillars of your program. And then secondly, involving the alumni the way that you do, Ed Reed, Michael Irvin, everybody that's on the sideline, why that's important to you to have the you today connect to the you yesterday.
It's important that Michael Irvin never kisses me on the cheek again on national TV. I think that's really important to point out. But it's also important to point out, and actually Mark Fletcher mentioned it, one of the best things we do is our alumni reunion, which had 400 plus members show up this year. And you could imagine we should have rolled the ball out there and scrimmaged because such great players, such great teammates, and guys that maybe weren't great players, but were just excellent, just friends and brothers. That's always been a big, I can't emphasize enough what a major role that played. And once I got the opportunity, the privilege to return to Miami, it had to be done. I owe Miami. I do. I feel that way strongly. And as it relates to the pillars for us, we don't have many, if any, signs on the wall. I think all that stuff is, you pay up lip service if you're not careful. No phones in the building. I'm kidding. Here we go. But for us, it's as simple as this. For us, our culture is, this will sum it up. It's everybody for everything every single day. There shouldn't be any misconception or misunderstanding as it relates to that. And that all that means is nothing but your best will be good enough. So We feel strongly about that. It is led by them. They hold themselves and their teammates to really, really high standards. We're pretty simple. So this press conference might be a little bit boring.
Coach still on the right side, second row.
Hey, Coach. Thomas Christopher of the League Winners. You started your head coaching career at FIU, and you were kind of the CFO of that program. Can you just talk about all the work that goes into building that program and how it's helped mold you into the coach you are today, focusing on Miami?
How was that experience? Well, when you walk into a place and you sign a contract, they tell you, well, you guys are about to go on a 5-year probation. You're going to have 33 ineligible players, 17 plus on top of that. You're going to lose a scholarship for every player ineligible going forward due to a contemporaneous penalty for the APR. But the good news is you play 7 of the top 10 teams in the country that's about to go Division I. By the way, you've just lost 15 straight games before you got started. You want that job? But you know what? We bet on our people. We bet on the South Florida community. And it wasn't, they often ask me the questions, but the credit goes to all the people that chose such a difficult and tough road. Because you're not just a coach there. You are the academic advisor. You're the chef. You are the travel coordinator. You're the fundraiser. I mean, that's been documented. We were supposed to go to play Alabama, and we got to the airport, and they said, where are you guys going? I'm like, we're going to hop on our plane. We have a game tomorrow against Alabama. They said, well, you guys didn't pay for a plane, so you're not going anywhere. So I just give my credit card to the wife, go get 200 meatball and cheese subs at Subway, bring it back for the players, let me figure this out. So you are faced with obstacles that you wouldn't normally face, and honestly, I'm grateful for that. I got to cut my teeth on some very difficult situations and circumstances. And I thank God for that, because it really helped me appreciate being at a place like Miami nowadays. And so, but yeah, we pay for our planes now.